My parents threw me out for my pregnant sister on my 18th birthday, but karma struck back spectacularly at her wedding. My 18th birthday was on a Tuesday in March. I woke up expecting maybe a cake, or at least a card from my parents. Instead, my mom knocked on my door at 7 in the morning and told me to pack my stuff. I thought she was joking at first, but her face was dead serious. She said my sister Ashley was pregnant and needed my room for the nursery. Ashley was 22, still living at home, and apparently the father wasn't in the picture. Mom said since I was legally an adult now, it was time for me to figure things out on my own. I sat there in my bed staring at her, waiting for the birthday surprise part. It never came. My dad didn't even say goodbye. He just kept drinking his coffee at the kitchen table while I loaded trash bags full of my clothes into my beat-up Honda. Ashley watched from her bedroom window, not helping, not apologizing, just watching. I ended up crashing on my friend Becca's couch for 2 months. Her parents were amazing and let me stay rent-free while I worked double shifts at this diner called Rosie's. I saved every single dollar. By summer, I had enough to rent a tiny studio apartment above a laundromat. It was loud and smelled like fabric softener 24/7, but it was mine. Meanwhile, Ashley was living like a princess at my parents' house. They threw her this huge baby shower, bought her a new car because hers was apparently too small for a car seat, and paid for everything the baby needed. My mom posted about it constantly on Facebook. Look at my beautiful daughter and my first grandbaby. Not a single mention of me. Not on my birthday, not on graduation when I walked across that stage alone because they were too busy with Ashley's doctor appointments. Nothing. I stopped checking their social media after a while. It hurt too much. Fast forward 2 years. I'm working as a manager at Rosie's now, taking night classes at community college, doing pretty okay for myself. Then I get a wedding invitation in the mail. Ashley was marrying some guy named Brad who she'd been dating for like 6 months. The wedding was at this fancy country club that probably cost more than my entire year's rent. My first instinct was to throw the invitation away, but something made me RSVP yes. Maybe I wanted to prove I was doing fine without them. Maybe I was just curious. The wedding day came and I showed up in a simple black dress I got on sale. Nothing fancy. The venue was packed with relatives I hadn't seen since they kicked me out. A few aunts came up asking where I'd been, why I never came around anymore. I just smiled and said I'd been busy. The ceremony was whatever. Ashley looked happy. Brad seemed nice enough. But during the reception, things got interesting. I was sitting at a table in the back when I overheard Ashley's maid of honor giving a speech. She told this whole story about how Ashley and Brad met. Apparently, Brad had been engaged to someone else when they started dating. His ex-fiancée was my mom's friend's daughter, Lauren. I remembered Lauren, sweet girl who used to babysit us. The maid of honor thought it was romantic how Brad left Lauren for Ashley, how he broke off his engagement 2 weeks before his wedding because he knew Ashley was the one. The room went quiet. People were shifting in their seats. Lauren's family was at the wedding. Her mom stood up and walked out. Then her dad followed. Then about 15 other guests who were clearly on Lauren's side. My mom's face went completely white. She tried to laugh it off, but the damage was done. Brad's parents looked furious. His mom was crying in the corner. Turns out they'd kept the whole cheating story hidden from Brad's side of the family. They thought no one would find out or bring it up. But here was the maid of honor, drunk on champagne, telling everyone the truth. After the speeches, I was getting punched when Brad's cousin came up to me. She asked how I knew the bride. I told her Ashley was my sister. She looked at me confused and said she'd never heard Ashley mention a sister. That hit different. I told her the whole story right there. How they kicked me out on my 18th birthday for Ashley's pregnancy. How I hadn't spoken to my parents in 2 years. Brad's cousin just stared at me. Then she walked straight to Brad's mom and told her everything. Within 10 minutes, Brad's entire family knew. His mom confronted my parents in front of everyone. Said she couldn't believe they'd throw out their own daughter like trash while spoiling the one who wrecked someone else's engagement. My dad tried to defend themselves, but Brad's mom wasn't having it. She said if that's how they treated family, her son deserved better. Brad's parents left the wedding, just walked out during dinner. Half the guests followed them. Ashley was crying at the head table. Brad looked like he wanted to disappear. My mom found me by the bathroom and tried to blame me for ruining the wedding. Said I must have told people lies about our family. I just looked at her and said I didn't have to lie. The truth did all the work. I left right after that, drove back to my tiny apartment above the laundromat, and slept better than I had in years.